Right, so get this. We're diving deep into the Coral Springs housing market today. We're going to zero in on single-family homes, specifically those in that sweet spot between $500,000 and $750,000.
Yeah.
The range where a lot of families are looking. And we've got some really interesting data. It spans from 2019 all the way to 2024. So if you're even a little bit curious about Coral Springs real estate, you're in for a treat.
What's really interesting here is we're not just looking at plain numbers. This analysis goes deep, revealing trends and insights that can really help you out, whether you're buying, selling, or just interested in real estate.
Exactly. And speaking of insights, one thing that stood out to me was how fast homes in that price range are selling. I mean, we're talking about an average of just 30 days on the market. That's much faster than other price points in the area.
Yeah, and it really highlights how important pricing strategy is. Homes priced within, let's say, 5% of that median list price tend to sell almost 20% faster than those priced higher. It's a competitive market, and buyers are definitely ready to jump on a good deal.
So if you're thinking of selling, pricing it right could be the difference between a quick sale and waiting for months. But I got to ask, isn't it tempting to try and get a little more profit, even if it means waiting longer?
Well, it's a balancing act. Pricing it too high can actually backfire. Your home could just sit there on the market. While those priced, get snapped up, a longer time on the market can make buyers wonder, what's wrong with it?
That's a great point. It's all about finding that right price. And that's where a good real estate agent is so valuable, right? Someone who really knows the market.
Definitely. A good agent can help you figure out the pricing so you get the most profit while also attracting the right buyers.
Okay, so we've got pricing strategy down. Now, how about the number of homes actually for sale? Because I imagine that changes throughout the year. What does the data say about that?
Well, the historic count of active listings chart is really helpful here. It shows a pretty clear pattern. More homes go on the market in spring and summer, and fewer in winter. It's like clockwork.
Interesting. So if I wanted to buy a house, would it be smarter to wait for those peak seasons? Would that mean more choices or even better prices?
It could be a good strategy. During those times, sellers are often more motivated to sell because there's more competition, and that can create opportunities for buyers.
The timing is really important.
Yeah.
Whether you're buying or selling, you've got to know about these trends to make the best decisions.
Absolutely. It's all about using that knowledge to your advantage.
Right, let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. The data goes all the way back to 2018, right? I'm curious to see how the number of sales has changed over time. What kind of patterns do we see?
Well, that's where the historic sales by year data is really interesting. It shows how the overall economy affects how many people want to buy homes. For example, back in 2021, there was a big jump in sales, probably because interest rates were so low then, but then things slowed down in 2022 and 2023 as rates went up. It's like a chain reaction.
Wow, so even what's happened with the national economy can affect a local market like Coral Springs. It shows how everything is connected. And I bet those economic trends also affect how much people are willing to pay, right?
For sure. And that's where the original price versus sold price analysis is really helpful. It shows us the difference between what sellers ask for and what buyers actually pay, which tells us if the market is balanced.
Right. Because if houses are selling for a lot less than their asking prices, that could mean it's a buyer's market where buyers have more power. But if they're selling for close to or even more than the asking price, it's probably a seller's market.
Exactly. And what we see in Coral Springs is from 2019 to 2024, that difference between original and sold prices has been pretty small. So it seems like a pretty balanced market where neither buyers nor sellers have a big advantage.
So it's competitive. But it sounds like there are opportunities for both buyers and sellers if they do things right. Now, we've talked a lot about the numbers, but let's not forget what makes Coral Springs so appealing. I mean, it's not just about the data, is it?
Oh, you're absolutely right. Coral Springs has a lot to offer. It's known for being family-friendly, having great schools, beautiful parks, and even for being prepared for hurricanes. It's a place where people really want to live.
Speaking of hurricane preparedness, I've heard that homes built after 1992 in Florida often have those special hurricane-resistant features. Is that true? And does that affect their value at all?
Yeah, it's definitely true. Homes built after that are more likely to have things like impact windows, reinforced roofs, and other things that make them stronger against hurricane winds. And those things can add a lot of value to a property.
That makes sense. Not only do those features give peace of mind, they can also save a ton of money on insurance in the long run. So it's a win-win for buyers.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned schools earlier, and I know that's a big deal for families. What makes the Coral Springs school system so special?
Well, Coral Springs is known for having some of the best public schools in the state. They always rank high in academics, extracurriculars, and how well students do overall. Plus, the city really supports education, so the schools have good funding and modern facilities.
So for families with kids, knowing they'll have good schools is really valuable. It's a big reason people want to live there. Now let's switch gears for a minute and talk about the future. What does the data say about what might happen in the Coral Springs market?
Well, the data suggests that Coral Springs is set to keep growing. The combination of a strong local economy, a great lifestyle, and lots of families wanting to live there means the future looks bright for real estate in Coral Springs. It's likely to be a good investment for years to come.
So for anyone thinking about buying in Coral Springs, it sounds like now might be a good time. But with real estate being so complicated, it's probably a good idea to have an expert on your side, right?
Definitely. Having a good real estate agent can make a huge difference in navigating the market. They can help you through the whole process, from finding the right property to getting the best deal, and making sure the closing goes smoothly.
Speaking of real estate agents, our research pointed to one name that really stood out. Antonio Ortega LLC. What makes them so special?
Antonio Ortega LLC has a great reputation in Coral Springs.
Oh.
They really understand the local market, they have a history of success, and they're really committed to helping their clients reach their real estate goals.
Now here they have a special offer for our listeners. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, they're offering to give 10% of their fee towards your closing costs. That's a big saving. Especially in a market like Coral Springs, it shows how dedicated they are to making the process as affordable as possible for their clients.
Wow, that's amazing. So if anyone's even thinking about buying or selling in Coral Springs, reaching out to Antonio Ortega LLC sounds like a smart move.
I agree. Their expertise, their commitment, and that closing cost offer make them a great choice for anyone who wants to navigate the Coral Springs market successfully.
You heard it here first. To learn more about Antonio Ortega LLC and their offer, be sure to go to their website at AntonioOrtegaLLC.com. You won't regret it.
It's a great resource for anyone looking to make their Coral Springs real estate dreams come true.
So there you have it. We've explored the Coral Springs housing market, from its family-friendly vibe and top-rated schools, to its strong market trends and promising future.
We've seen how understanding things like average days on market, active listings, and historical sales can help you make good decisions, whether you're buying or selling.
And we've learned that Antonio Ortega LLC is a really great resource, offering expertises, dedications, and that incredible closing cost contribution to help make your real estate journey a success.
But as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. What parts of Coral Springs really speak to you? What unique features or neighborhoods catch your eye?
And how can you use what's happening in the market now to achieve your real estate goals?
It's all about matching your vision
Mm-hmm.
with what's actually happening in the market and finding someone like Antonio Ortega LLC who can help you make that vision a reality.
That's a great point. It's not just about the numbers. It's about finding a place that feels like home. So if Coral Springs sounds like the right place for you, go to AntonioOrtegaLLC.com and take that first step toward your dream home. And hey, with that 10% towards closing costs, you might even have some extra cash for new furniture.
Now that's what I call a smart move.
Until next time,
Yeah.
keep learning. And remember, the more you know, the better prepared you are to make those big decisions. Happy house hunting.
They consistently rank high in academics, extracurricular activities, and overall student achievement. Plus, the city puts a lot of money into education, so the schools are well funded and have modern facilities.
So for families with kids, that peace of mind is priceless. Knowing they'll have access to a good education, it's a huge draw to the area. Now let's talk about the future. What does the data tell us about the long-term outlook for the Coral Springs market?
Well, the data suggests that Coral Springs is poised for continued growth. The combination of a strong local economy, desirable lifestyle, and consistent demand from families means a bright future for real estate in the area. It's likely to stay a solid investment for years to come.
So for anyone thinking about buying in Coral Springs now, might be a good time to do it. But with the real estate market being so complex, it's probably wise to have an expert, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Having a skilled and knowledgeable real estate agent can make all the difference. They can guide you through the whole process, like finding the right property, negotiating the best deal, and making sure the closing goes smoothly.
Speaking of agents, our research pointed to one name that stood out, Antonio Ortega LLC. What makes them so special?
Antonio Ortega LLC has built an exceptional reputation in Coral Springs. They have a deep understanding of the local market, a proven track record of success, and are genuinely committed to helping their clients reach their real estate goals.
Now, I understand they have a unique offer for our listeners. Can you tell us more?
Yes, Antonio Ortega LLC is currently offering to contribute 10% of their fee toward your closing costs. That's a significant saving, especially in a market like Coral Springs. It shows how dedicated they are to making the process as affordable as possible for their clients.
Wow, that's incredible. So if anyone out there is thinking about buying or selling in Coral Springs, reaching out to Antonio Ortega LLC would be smart.
I couldn't agree more. Their expertise, dedication, and that generous closing cost contribution make them a standout choice for anyone looking to navigate the Coral Springs real estate market.
You heard it here first, folks.
Oh.
To learn more about Antonio Ortega LLC and their offer, be sure to visit their website at antonioortegallc.com. You won't be disappointed.
It's a fantastic resource for anyone looking to make their Coral Springs real estate dreams a reality.
So there you have it. We've explored the ins and outs of the Coral Springs housing market, from its family-friendly appeal and great schools to its strong market trends and promising future.
We've seen how understanding key metrics like average days on market active listings and historical sales can empower you to make informed decisions, whether you're buying or selling.
And we've learned that Antonio Ortega LLC is a really great resource in this market, offering expertise, dedication, and that incredible closing cost contribution to help make your real estate journey a success.
But as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought. What aspects of Coral Springs resonate most with you? What unique features or neighborhoods pique your interest?
And how can you use what we've talked about today, like the trends, to reach your goals?
Yeah, it's about making your vision fit with what's going on in the market and, finding a partner like Antonio Ortega LLC to make it all happen.
Exactly. It's not just about numbers. It's finding a place that feels right. So you're thinking Coral Springs is the place. Go to antonioortegallc.com. That's the first step towards your dream home. And hey, with that 10% back on closing costs, you might even have some money left over for some new furniture.
No, that's a good idea.
So that's it for today's deep dive into Coral Springs.
We covered a lot, from how fast homes are selling to those amazing schools.
And don't forget, Antonio Ortega LLC is the expert you need.
They can really help, whether you're buying or selling.
So until next time, keep on learning. And remember, the more you know, the better choices you can make. Happy house hunting, everyone.